I propose the family principle based on the parable of the little pebble, which says, a little pebble dropped into a calm lake will cause supple ripples to his bank. My neighbor, where are you placed in the community? Are you a husband? Are you a wife? Are you a single parent? Certainly, we have in this audience the family of my ambitious idea. Though this audience has a population of less than 100 families, I know as a fact that Rotarians all over the world are more than 1,220,000 families. Meaning, we have about 1.3 million Rotarian families who can sign on to the family principle and help advocate peace and conflict prevention to the world. Rotary says you must do something to prevent conflict. Are we ready to do something? Yes, I am ready. Thank you. Slogan, most regrettably. It is on record that conflict and violence displace millions of people each year, and half of those killed in the conflict are children, and 90% are civilians. So, the fundamental objective of Rotary International in organizing a lecture of this nature in the various clubs all over the world arose from the various and endless conflicts of the world. Rotary, I dare say, envisaged that conflict is an inevitable component of man's existence on earth. And I have always maintained that because of this inevitable conflict inherent in man and woman, permanent peace in our society appears elusive. If the conflicts in the Bible did not teach us the value of peace, and the First and Second World War did not either, then we have learned nothing. Notwithstanding my pessimism, Rotary refused to accept conflict as a way of life, and Rotary is undaunted for its quest to promote and achieve peace in the world. Before going into specifics, there is need to explain to us Rotary's ultimate aim in holding this annual lecture. In 1914, Rotary International Convention in Lausanne adopted a resolution calling for an international peace conference. Rotarians were very concerned with peace, and the 1922 Convention of Rotary International adopted an addition of the word peace to its fourth object, that is, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. And in 1981, Rotary Award for World Understanding and Peace was established. To demonstrate Rotary concern for peace, Rotary International established centers in 6 universities in 6 different countries for international studies in peace and conflict resolution. As of today, more than 1,000 students have graduated from the Rotary Peace Centers. It is the expectation of Rotary that the product of these centers will produce the next generation of future world leaders and diplomats who can promote peace and conflict prevention. My dear friends, the idea of Rotary recognizes the dichotomy of mankind on earth, or its geographical distribution or migration. Rotary recognizes our homogeneity in an heterogeneous world. In our world today, we have diverse races. We've got the black race, the white race, Hispanics, Arabs, Red Indians, Asians, and the Jews. Inherent in these races are diverse ethnic groups, customs and culture, religions and beliefs. Furthermore, the races are laden with various languages: the English, the French, the Portuguese, Spanish, Arabs, Greek, Hebrew, Swahili, Chinese, Japanese, Indians, and the predominance of multilingual languages of the African people, thus giving us to ask where the Tower of Babel actually is. Records show that more than 5,000 languages exist, and in each of these languages, there are simplified methods or structures, usually called pidgin languages, which act as sub-languages to each of them. Against this background, the certainty for conflict is as sure as dawn, whether the cock crows or not. Why is peace so elusive in the world? Why is conflict prevention so difficult to achieve? Why do we have to fight a senseless civil war in Nigeria in 1966? Why must a religious bigot inflict so much pains, death, and destruction in our land? Why must we kill our brothers and sisters as a means of land acquisition or ownership? Why must we spill blood for the agitation for resource control or secessionist ideology? Must we spill blood for our cattle to graze? With pains in my heart, I ask, why? Why? Why is peace so elusive? Why do we generate conflict rather than prevent conflict? At the moment, more than 65 million people are currently displaced by armed conflict or persecution around the world. In Nigeria, we have more than 3.3 million internally displaced persons in various camps in the northeast who are victims of Boko Haram and victims of herdsmen in Benue State. In the midst of all these conflicts in the world, there is a new drumbeat of war between President Trump of America and President Kim Jong-un, the little man in North Korea. Trump is currently advocating that for there to be peace, America must acquire the best war machines to force peace in the world. Really? I do not think so, because the production of war arsenals, including bows and arrows, are not the exclusive talents of the Americans. Rotary doesn't think so either. Rotary helps to provide the mechanism and resources to aid ambitious ideas towards peace and conflict prevention. Is there a way I can appeal to the American president to donate 2.5% of his military budget towards the prevention of conflict instead of increasing its nuclear weaponry? Back home in Nigeria, why is peace elusive? And how can we prevent conflict? In Nigeria, we have had our own share of conflict. Ours led to a civil war. Through understanding, peace was achieved in 1970. Let me quickly remark that the loss to lives and property and the dent to the potency of nationhood remains monumental to this day. It does not seem that we learned any lesson from the 1966 conflict. In our immediate community, where the Rotary Club of Warri resides, some of us witnessed the conflict between our friends. And in my year as president of the club, that is in 2002 and 2003, Rotary organized a peace conference between the major ethnic groups in Warri. It achieved the desired purpose, and since then, peace hovers in the air. I am glad that there are conflict prevention mechanisms in place to de-escalate the following conflicts within our communities. 1, the conflict as to the rename of the location of the Maritime University, whether it is called Okenekoko or Okeregigo, arising from the judgment of the Supreme Court. 2, the conflict between the Ijaws of Ogbujos and the Urhobos in Alaga. 3, the conflict between the Ijaws in Gelegele and the Benis in Oredo. Where conflicts are identified and conflict prevention mechanisms are ignited immediately, there will be no need for the agonies of war, and tremendous peace will be enjoyed. In spite of these wars and conflicts, the wars were never resolved with wars. Instead, war begets war. War is never a weapon for peace. Rather, mankind's source for understanding to enable it achieve peace. The signing of peace treaties and the creation of various organizations such as the United Nations the African Union, ECOWAS, the European Union, the Arab League, the Organization of American States, and several other religious and political organizations, up to the small families in our home, in our community, are a manifestation of the quest for mankind to seek understanding towards achieving peace and conflict prevention. Though mankind has been seeking peace and understanding, one of the problems militating against it has been attributed to engineers and scientists who devoted time and energy in the production of small weapons and weapons of mass destruction. The potency or capacity of the current nuclear bomb are 100 megatons, far greater than the ones used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Gentlemen, I deliberately dive into the brief history of our war to enable us fathom the loss to mankind senseless wars have caused. We must develop a mechanism whereby we must all agree that where there are threats to peace, these instruments or establishments must be invoked to prevent wars or hostilities. A recent example was Nigeria's understanding to the judgment of the War Court in Hague over the disputed territory of Bakassi, now ceded to the Republic of Cameroon. Were Nigeria to ignore the decision, she would have opened her armory to draw the first blood against Cameroon. You can add up what comes up next, plus the foreign powers that will support their former colonies. So, Nigerian understanding of the situation is the fundamental objective of Rotary International for the diverse people of all nations of the world to exercise understanding and peace as a primary prevention to conflict or wars. Rotary International will continue to hold this annual event to draw the attention of world leaders and the people of the world for the need of mankind to exercise understanding and peace. This call is paramount as more urgent problems present themselves today. A good example of an establishment to prevent conflict is the Summer Olympics currently going on in South Korea. It is envisaged that the participation of the citizens of North Korea in the Games will help douse the threats of nuclear war between the two nations. In my beloved country, Nigeria, the cause of this conflict will be traced to the haphazard manner of its creation as a sovereign state. The imbalance of economic, social, and political life are the antithesis to these problems. Rotary International also identified the complexities and imbalances that exist in the world. So, through Rotary service projects, peace fellowships, and scholarship, Rotary is addressing the underlying causes of conflicts, including poverty, inequality, ethnic tension, lack of access to education, and unequal distribution of resources. None of these problems offer any easy solution either, and there are some doubts that existing democratic institutions will be able to cope with them. Our democratic institutions have not been able to cope. Our three organs of government are unable to cope. The political parties post-independence were unable to cope. The current political parties cannot cope either. Where then can we achieve peace and prevent conflict? The Rotary Action Group for Peace gives Rotary members resources and support to advance world peace and turn ambitious ideas into life-changing realities. My dear friends, what are your ideas for peace? And how can we turn such ambitious ideas into life-changing realities? This is my own ambitious ideas. Yours could be more ambitious. We can achieve peace and prevent conflict using the family principle. Yes, the family. The family consisting of the husband, wife or wives, and children, if any. My definition of the family includes single parentage. The husband must advocate peace to his wife. The wife and husband, that is father and mother, must advocate peace to the child or children, if any. The single mother must advocate peace for her child or children. The single father must advocate peace for his child or children. The family must advocate peace to the neighbor. And the neighbor must advocate peace to his neighbor and propose the family principle based on the parable of the little pebble, which says, a little pebble dropped into a calm lake will cause supple ripples to his bank. My neighbor, where are you placed in the community? Are you a husband? Are you a wife? Are you a single parent? Certainly, we have in this audience the family of my ambitious idea. Though this audience has a population of less than 100 families, I know as a fact that Rotarians all over the world are more than 1,220,000 families. Meaning, we have about 1.3 million Rotarian families who can sign on to the family principle and help advocate peace and conflict prevention to the world. Rotary says you must do something to prevent conflict. Are we ready to do something? Yes, I am. Thank you.